Hi, I'm Daniel from LEGO.co.uk and this is the Motorola TALKABOUT T92. The T92 is the brand's flagship license-free walkie-talkie. Not only does it offer great performance, but it also comes packed with extra features. So let's take a closer look at it. There's a lot to talk about with the T92, but we should probably start with its design. At its heart, the TALKABOUT T92 is a great two-way radio and one that we'd recommend for its core functionality alone. However, it's also a great choice for use on water such as canoeing or on a boat, as it's fully waterproof with an IP67 rating that also means it's completely dustproof. The T92 can be submerged in water up to 1 meter deep for up to 30 minutes. However, the exact depth of the water doesn't really matter here because the T92 actually floats. Inside, there's a core filled with air that stops it from sinking. As you can see, it's bright yellow, which means it's easy to spot if you do drop it in the water. And that yellow casing is surprisingly tough, so it can withstand a fair amount of heavy use without damaging the components inside. The Motorola TALKABOUT T92 offers up to 10 kilometers range, which puts it at the very top end of what you can get from a license-free two-way radio. Of course, that 10 kilometers is only the maximum, and you'd only expect to reach this if you were using the radios at a high altitude with a clear line of sight. We tested the T92s for ourselves and found they reach between 500 meters and up to 1 kilometer in a built-up area, which is still impressive for license-free two-way radios. If you're going to be using these in a warehouse or a building site, or even in a school, then they should comfortably stretch for as far as you need them to. Outside the city, we managed to reach about 5 kilometers. Again, it's a drop from the maximum stated range, but it's still an impressive distance for radios to reach without paying for a license. As you can see from the front of the radio, the T92 is nice and simple to use with clearly labelled buttons. It's a PTT radio, which means push to talk, and the button for this is nice and large, so you could easily use it even if you had gloves on. The T92 has 16 different channels which you can broadcast on, along with 121 subcodes for each to give you a little bit more privacy. We definitely recommend changing the channel and subcodes on first use, because many users tend to just keep radios on the default channel, so it can get a bit noisy if you're using them in a place with a lot of other people using two-way radios. The T92 comes with a really impressive set of features. First of all, there's rechargeable batteries which are already inside the radios when you take them out of the box. These offer up to 16 hours use per charge, and there's also a dual USB charging cable, which means you can power up both the radios at the same time. In theory, you could swap out the rechargeable batteries for another set if you wanted to get a bit more use out of the radios. You could either use a Motorola power pack or just 3 standard AA batteries. VOX Functionality allows you to use the T92's hands-free, which certainly comes in handy if you're kayaking or boating, but it will also make life a lot easier if you're using the radios in a warehouse or building site as well. Like a lot of two-way radios, the T92 comes with a belt clip. However, this also doubles up as a whistle on this model. Alternatively, if you need to get help from people out of earshot, then there's also an emergency button on the top of the radio. I won't demonstrate this because it's very loud, but when you press this, it will broadcast an emergency tone on both your radio and any others tuned to the same frequency for 8 seconds. It will then activate the VOX mode for a further 22 seconds, so you can tell people where you are and what help you need. Finally, each twin pack of T92s comes with its own carry case, which also has space for the chargers and any accessories that you may have. And it's worth mentioning that the T92s will also work with any other license-free two-way radios that you may have. You just need to make sure that they're all set to the same channel. So there we have it, the Motorola TALKABOUT T92, an excellent set of two-way radios with an impressive range of features that puts it head and shoulders above other models. To find out more, or to get your hands on one for yourself, go to LEGO.co.uk.